In today's webinar, I'm going to look at how to use technology to examine similarities and differences. Now, this is one of our Marzano eye observation key strategies, which is how I'm trying to tie in our use of technology into the classroom deeper by looking at how we can use technology with those eye observation key strategies. So today I'm going to show you how to navigate towards my resources, and then we're going to go over what I covered in the workshop in the classroom this week. So Simmons Classroomcom, you should know by now, is my primary website, and when you come onto this website, you can click on Guides and Tutorials, and then you will open up my Guides and Tutorials webpage, which if you want to bookmark it, it's just guides.simmonsclassroom.com. On the left-hand side under General Resources, I have a link to Technology with Eye Observation Key Strategies, and I also have a link to the individual strategies down here. You can access them through either method. So we'll click on Technology with Eye Observation Key Strategies, and then this week we are looking at number 17, which is examining similarities and differences. On this page, I'm trying to provide as much support to you as possible for use with this eye observation key strategy. First off, when we look at the key strategy, we are looking to use examining similarities and differences whenever any of the content is informational. So whether we're looking at a science classroom and comparing two different kinds of cells or organisms, or if we're looking at an English classroom comparing Romeo and Juliet to Hamlet, or even if we're looking at an IA classroom and examining two different kinds of joints in terms of wood or welding. This is it has a very wide range of applicability. So by looking for them to examine their similarities and differences, we're looking for them to deepen their understanding, to go beyond what they're seeing in the textbook or what they're seeing online, and actually think about it in their own ways to determine what those similarities and differences are. Now, the very instant way that you automatically think about doing this is through the use of a Venn diagram. And a couple of the strategies or websites that we're looking at today with this strategy do help you create Venn diagrams without the need of paper and pencil in the classroom. But beyond that, there are a wide range of ways that students can examine similarities and differences. So please don't feel like you are limited to just Venn diagrams. It just happens to be what makes the most sense for a lot of our kiddos. So when you scroll to the bottom of this webpage, I have a list of 7 resources right now, although I could very well be adding to this list as I find further resources. And I've tried to make it simple by classifying them in terms of what level I believe that they could be used at. Now, if you're at the high school level, certainly look at the middle school tools as well, because they may be an easier to understand tool than some of the ones that I've marked for high school. Some of the tools that are marked for high school, I really think that they are going to be a little bit more in depth and perhaps beyond what some of our middle school kiddos are able to really handle. But certainly don't feel like you need to limit them to just the middle school tools. Now, this list itself, you can certainly use with your kiddos themselves. If you want them to navigate onto this page, I have no problem with them coming on and deciding for themselves what method of examining similarities and differences they really want to use. They could use any of these tools, and if you run the kind of classroom where you're okay with them using different tools, not all the same one, then that is certainly an option for you. And I've tried to mark out which ones they need to create accounts for and which ones they don't, to make it easier for yourself. Now, out of all of these, I'm going to actually only look at 4 of these resources today, although you can look at the examples of the other ones as, on your own time. The very first one is the easiest one of all of them, and it's from Class Tools. This one I find would be really great for lower level middle school, or if you're just looking to do a really quick, simple, easy Venn diagram comparison. You basically select 2 circles versus 3 circles, and then you just start typing. So you would type in your name, type in your title, and then you can just click into either section of the 2 circles and then write in what your items are, name the 2 factors, and then you can either save it as a web page or embed it into a blog or a web page. And then if you click on print, you actually aren't able to print without being a member, but it does give you the ability to embed it into a web page. It takes a little bit of time for this object or this version to load, but if they have, for example, a portfolio that they're building items for, then this would be a great option for them. The other tool, a little bit harder or more complex than class tools, is RWT Venn diagram. This is Read, Write, Think Venn diagrams, and you can do anywhere from 2 to I believe 3 different circles within this Venn diagram. You do have to give it a title and your name before you can start, and you automatically have 2 circles. You can rename it over on the upper right hand side, and then you would just create a new circle, give it a color that you want it to be, and then it will automatically add it in. You can double click on the labels to change the title, and then this little icon here lets you change the size. So if you need a way bigger circle, or if you need it to take up more room, then you can do that. In terms of actually adding items, if you click on New Item in the upper left-hand corner, then you could add items in with varying tag sizes, and you can also add a description. So for example, if you're comparing 2 different organisms, then you could say that an earthworm does not have legs, so you could include earthworm and then a description of what an earthworm is, or what the classification, why they fall within that circle is, and then click OK, and then it gives you the item to drop into the circles. This particular one, if you were to go in as a teacher, if you have an IWB, an interactive whiteboard, you could easily create all these items, plunk them outside of the circles, and then pop this whole thing up all prepped onto your interactive whiteboard, and then have your students come over and decide which one, where all these items are going to fall. So this would be a really easy, fun, interactive tool for a larger classroom to do as a group if you have an IWB, although they can also do it on their own. And then the final version, they can print it, which I wouldn't say print it because I'm not a fan of killing trees, but you can print this off as a PDF. If you save it as a PDF, it will give you 2 pages, one side that has the Venn diagram and then the other side that has your descriptions. So that's super handy as well. The other resource that I'm going to mention on this list is Enchanted Learning. Enchanted Learning, you do have to pay for an account if you wanted to choose to download any of these graphic organizers, but the real reason that I'm including it is because I think that it's a great source of inspiration for how you can look at comparing similarities and differences in your classroom. So whether you're looking at the traditional Venn diagram look, or if you're looking at charts like this where you're looking at least common multipliers and greatest common divisors, or if you're looking at any charts like this that are a little bit more complex, there's a lot of inspiration here, and then you can replicate any of these sort of comparison tools onto the other tools that I have referenced in this chart back on my website. Some of these other ones will give you a little bit more control to help you achieve what Enchanted Learning has. And then finally, my last one I'm going to briefly introduce. I do have on this page, if you scroll up, a full-blown screencast. It's about 4.5 minutes long that I did for some teachers at the high school that walks students through how to install Lucid Charts into their Google Drive, how to do some of the tools within Lucid Charts, and then how to save or share it with you. So please refer to this video if you would like some further explanation about Lucid Charts, but this was a big hit at the high school level, and this is my demo document. And basically Lucid Charts is an all-in-one place where you can go to get a wide range of organizational tools. They have brackets such as this one that you can then group multiple pieces of text or images within. They do flow charts like this, which an English teacher at the high school today was going to use to look at sentence structure, and another English teacher was going to look at using for making timelines. For example, for The Great Gatsby, it's a very hard to sort of follow book in terms of timelines, so using this kind of flowchart would really help to keep the sequence of events tied together. But then in terms of Venn diagrams, you are able to turn on Venn diagram shapes such as this, and then each one of these is just a little text box, so it's very free flow, gives you complete control over the look and the feel of your document. So that's why I think that this is a great tool for the high school level, or if you're looking at a little bit higher achieving at the middle school level, then this might be a good tool to look at. It does give you complete control, so it can take a little bit longer to refine things to be exactly how you want, but there are a lot of tools within this, and saving and sharing is very, very easy since it all links right back into your Google Drive. So again, check out guides.simmonsclassroom.com for more information about how to use technology with your eye observation key strategies. And as always, if you need any additional help with any of this, or if you'd like to talk about it further, just drop me a line.